I was like, oh my goodness. Do I have to find another buyer? Is this real estate agent trying to cancel my wholesale real estate deal? What's up, YouTube? Bizmath here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving and have a blessed Black Friday. You know, don't go too crazy, you all. Save your money so you can invest in real estate and wholesaling real estate and different things like that. But in today's video, I'm actually going to talk about how a real estate agent tried to mess up a wholesale deal that I have with a friend that I'm mentoring in this business. Before we go on, you all, be sure to smash that like button. It really supports this channel, and then subscribe if you're not subscribed, and then comment down below on how has it been working with realtors in your wholesaling journey. I'm not against working with realtors. I think that's a great way to find on-market deals. I still believe you can find deals on the MLS if you want to flip properties and hold them as rentals. So you can still work with realtors to wholesale real estate opportunities, right? You know, there are people online on YouTube that talk about that. So you all just make sure you find the right realtor for that. But at the same time, you know, some realtors are just not a fan of wholesaling, and they make that known to everyone. So you all, in today's video, we're just going to break down what's happening and how I'm still able to secure the deal and send everything off at the title company. So this is a win on our end, you know, at the end, just to let you all know. But these are just some of the details that happen. And I'm also sharing this with you all just to show the ups and downs of this business. You know, not everything is cookie cut. Sometimes you have these interactions with different wholesalers, with other realtors, other investors, and this is a competitive market and a competitive game. And you just gotta be level-headed, be cool-minded, and just follow what you practice and just stay calm and collective at all times. Let's get right into the details. So basically, we got this deal under contract earlier this month, and we've been showing our buyers, and we finally got a buyer in. With this buyer, he does speak Spanish and English, but English is not his first language. And so after he saw the property, we were talking about price, and we agreed upon a price, but we were going back and forth with price and different things like that. And he was saying that earlier, like a few months ago, he bought a house down a few blocks away for a price, and that he was working with a realtor that spoke Spanish too, but she's an American woman. Later that day, I sent him an assignment of contract. He looked it over. He had a question about it because I just had the assignment fee. I didn't have like the price we talked about for the house, and I just reassured him, hey, you know, this house, we have it under contract at this price, and I'm selling it to you for this price. And so that's why you just see that fee. But the price that we agreed upon when we talked about, that's all you're going to pay. And so he understood that. Another thing about this house is that it is in a flood zone. So with it being in a flood zone, it may require insurance. You know, that's to whoever the property owner is for that property, you know, if they want to take insurance or not. And a house next door actually was flipped, and it's in the flood zone. And so it's right on the edge of the flood zone, so it doesn't flood in the house, but since it's near a creek, that's something that you have to consider. And so I made that known to him even before he saw the property, while he saw the property, and after he saw the property. So I understood, like, you know, for an assignment on contract for an investor who never worked with a wholesaler before, it could be a little bit confusing, especially him and the language barrier with him not understanding English 100%. Later, he calls me back and he was like, hey, you know I signed that contract, but I still have some questions. You know, English is not my first language. I was like, okay, no problem at all. You know, talk to whoever you need to talk to, a translator that you need help understanding this contract. He calls me back again. He was like, hey, I talked to my realtor, and she's mad. She's pretty upset. Let's just call her Mary. So Mary is pretty upset about him working with another, I guess, person in real estate, that her client has gone off to another investor, right? As opposed to working with her. And so I'm understanding this, and I'm just being calm and collective. I'm all like, okay, that's totally fine. Yeah, if she wants to call me, if she has any questions, give her my number. He gives her my number, and she calls me, and she's just right on the attack mode. Boom, 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 boom. She was like, what are you doing? Why are you targeting my investor? He hardly knows English and stuff like that. I don't like you wholesalers. I mean, I'm not a big fan of assignments. What's the contract? What is it about? Send me over the contract and different things like that. And this whole time, I'm all like, oh my goodness, I hope this does not mess up the deal. But at the same time, I'm calm and collective and I'm answering her questions. I'm all like, hey, Mary, I explained to, I recognize the fact that yes, English may be a barrier, but this is what I'm doing. This is what I told him. I told this to him way ahead of advance of time. This is how much we're contracting for. Do you know about assignments on contract? I close at this title company. If you have any questions about how this process works, you can call them and different things like that. And she was like, oh, I already know how it works. I'm just not a fan of you all and different things like that. And so I'm all like, okay, totally fine. The buyer reached out to me and he's interested in buying the house. And so we're putting a deal together to make this happen. I understand that language may be a barrier here, but you know Spanish, you can explain different things to him and different things like that. So she gets off the phone and I still send her like a copy of the assignment on contract just to, reassure her. And then later on, I get a call the next day when I was about to send the documents over to the title company so they can start escrow and doing the title search. He tells me, hey, Matthew, hold off on the deal. I was like, oh my goodness. Do I have to find another buyer? Is this real estate agent trying to cancel my wholesale real estate deal and different things like that? And I was like, okay, what are the reasons? He was all like, yeah, Mary, the agent said it's in a high-risk flood zone and different things like that. I don't understand what that means. I need to talk to my insurance company and stuff like that. So just hold off on sending the documents over to the title company. I'm all like, okay, I mean, I told you before it's in a flood zone. I told you before it never floods in the house. We actually let him go in the crawl space of the house and there was no signs of moisture or any leaking or different things like that. And I told him the property next door was just flipped and it's on the same edge of the flood zone as this property. And he was all like, yeah, I know it's in a flood zone, but it may be in a high risk flood zone. And I think the agent was just, beating that down to him like it's in a high risk flood zone. And yes, you have to be careful if a property is in a flood zone, but it's not as high risk as the agent was probably telling him. And so I was like, okay, totally fine. I'm working with the seller and I'm working with the buyer here. So I'm all like, totally fine. All I ask is that for your translator, if you're going to talk to someone else, I advise you to talk to someone who is not biased because your agent is competitive. This is a competitive market and she wants you to solely deal with her specifically. So do you have a family member that you can talk to? Can you talk to just a insurance agent, but not a real estate agent who has their own interests at mind? Don't even talk to me about it. Try to go to a non-biased view. So he kind of understood that and he was all like, okay, cool, I'll let you know. And so he called me on Monday. He told me he'll let me know on Wednesday. And I was a little bit hesitant on that. That's what happened. I accepted that and I just waited patiently. And then I get a call later from another buyer who was interested in the house and he wanted to see it. So I was all like, what should I do here? Should I make an ultimatum for the other buyers, just letting him know, if we're waiting, I can show my other buyers who are interested at a higher price. But Sati told me just to hold off, just to wait. And so I told the new buyer who was interested, hey, I'll let you know when you can see the property and different things like that. The next day on Tuesday, the original buyer calls me back, right? And he said he was gonna call me Wednesday. And he was just very calm. He was like, hey, Matthew, I know right now you worked hard for this deal, you and your friend, and you're trying to make money, so you can go ahead and just send the documents over to the title company. I know my agent, yes, she's looking at her best interest, she's wanting money too, and different things like that, but I trust you and different things like that. I was like, wow, it's crazy how things just flip like that. Just me just being patient with the deal, with understanding the situation, building rapport with the buyer, and he's looking at me like, okay, he's been, talking truth, because, before he even saw the property, I told him all the facts about the property, the things wrong with the property, and so He was all like, I see you're working hard, you're trying to make money here. Let's just go ahead with the deal. I sent that information over to the title company and we started escrow, and so hopefully we should close within the next 2 weeks. Things happen, like the ups and downs in this wholesaling business. And I guess some tips I would give you when you're working with a realtor is, with a realtor, you have to show authority. You have to show that you're serious and that you're a real investor and that you're calm and collective, right? Because when she came to me, I didn't back down. I was just backing my words. So I was like, hey, I told him this, I told him that. This is what we're doing. I had done this before in the past. I've been doing this multiple deals a year, and this is what we do. This is my company and different things like that. So I spoke with authority. I was calm and collective. I never attacked her, and I just made sure I, in a way, controlled the conversation also. And so I really advise you all, especially if you're looking to wholesale deals, sometimes a realtor may not even ask for proof of funds if you're speak with confidence and authority, saying, yeah, we buy houses. We're looking to buy this house for cash. What can we do? How can we work together? Just understand the emotions and drama is just part of this business, right? And then another thing is just being patient with the deal. I could have worried, I could have found another buyer super fast or did different things, but I didn't want to stress myself out. It would happen this week. It was the holidays. I was all like, you know what? I'm going to leave it to God and have him, take care of this. Just send up a prayer. And the Lord came through and he took care of the deal. I hope you all just have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.